back to slide 1. We'll just do some editing later. I have my camera turned off for this part in particular. Once the slides are over, I'll put myself back on. So, back to the gameplay basics. Each player builds a deck of 1 story character and 30 other cards. Story characters start on the battlefield. The remaining 30 cards are drawn from your deck and played from your hand. The goal of the game is to defeat the enemy story character by reducing their HP to 0. This is Sylpher, one of the Hunter side story characters in Episode 3. As a Hunter side story character, she can equip a variety of items to attack with and protect herself. Dark side characters will summon creatures instead, moving them around the map. The core gameplay remains the same. Sylpher's card name is in this slot. Her card cost is here. Being a story character, she costs nothing and starts on the field. But all of the card types will have a cost there. Her stats at the bottom represent her health point modifier, her attack power, her technique power, and her movement limit. The normal HP value for story characters is 15, but can be modified. The other facets of a card are the linkers, top and right, and attack range. Being a player character, she can normally only attack 1 space in front of her, unless something is modifying that. She only has 1 physical attack normally. That's why her top linker is only red. That is representing physical. Right linkers is the type of possible attacks that she can perform depending on the action card she can use. The types of different cards include items and creatures. Items are equipped by hunters and augment their stats and protect their HP pool. Creatures take up space on the playboard and can be moved around and attacked individually. Their stats stand on their own. Each player has 1 slot for assist cards, such as this Forest Rain. Some have immediate effects, others last for a few turns. Forest Rain could be increasing the damage of native creatures, such as Booma, for a set amount of time. Action cards, Slash and Dodge down here, for example, are either attack cards like Slash or defense cards like Dodge. Attack cards need to match their left linker color with an attacker's right linker. Defense cards must match their top linker colors with an attacker's top linker color. In this example, Slash could be used by any of these 3 cards, Sylpher, Saber, or Booma, and Dodge could block any of these 3 cards, Sylpher, Saber, or Booma, because all of the red linkers are in the correct locations. Slash could also be used on another Slash in an action card chain. That's why there's a red on both the left and right of that card. So, that was a lot of information about cards, but here's how you use them. Starting the game. All players roll dice to determine which side goes first. Both players may take 1 mulligan before the first turn starts. This mulligan shuffles your hand back into the deck and draws a full 5 new cards. If you're not happy with one set, you get 1 chance to change it. Your phases of a turn. They will consist of dice, set, move, act, and draw. On the first turn of the starting player only, that player skips their act phase. Play passes to the opponent after all phases are finished. In dice, you will roll your attack and defense dice. In set, you can put items, creatures, or assist cards on the field. In move, you will move your story characters or creatures. Act, you will attack the opponent with items, creatures, or story characters. And finally, in draw, you can discard any cards you want, and you'll draw back up to your normal hand limit afterwards. In the dice phase, you will roll your attack and defense dice. Default rules will roll between 1 and 6 per die. The higher of your 2 rolls becomes your attack points, the lower becomes your defense points. Your team's dice bonus will be added to the result of both of these dice. So you can see in this example, the roll went 3 and 5, so the higher value got swapped into the attack position. And the dice plus 0 here is representing the dice bonus. If there was one, these would have transformed into higher numbers right after the roll. You earn dice bonus by gaining experience during battle, and 12 experience will equal 1 dice bonus. Every item or creature you kill will earn you 3 experience points. On to set phase. You can play items, creatures, or assist cards from your hand. Cards will cost the action attack points equal to their cost displayed under their name. Only 8 points worth of field characters, which are items or creatures. It's just a colloquial term for both of them. May be in play, controlled by one player at any time. The game does a very poor job of visualizing this. You would be good. You'd be well off to mentally note and build your deck around the costs of cards in your deck. When Silver puts on this mag, this is her 3rd point of equipment that she has on in this image. She is also equipped with a Partisan, which is a 2-cost card. So at that point, she can only put 5 more points on. Move phase. Your story character, and your creatures if you're an ARCS player, may move up to their move value by spending that many attack points. All story characters and creatures, and some obstacles, will block movement into their space. Certain card abilities will allow movement through other characters, such as aerial status or warp. In this example, Silver is spending 2 points to move 2 spaces and get closer to that Booma and her target, Laura, this story character. Act phase. This is the complicated phase. Each of your FCs, field characters, may attack once. A normal attack without any action cards will cost you 1 attack point. Up to 3 action cards may be used at once, costing the combined points shown on the cards. So using an attack and a slash in a chain attached to this Partisan is a 3-point attack. The final action determines the range of the attack. So it was finishing on a slash, so it's going to have slash's range of a 3-tile wide attack. Hunters will attack with the combined stats of their story character, their mags, and their attacking weapon. So this slash is doing 8 damage total because of Silver's 3, plus the Partisan's 2, plus the mags 1, plus the attacks 1, and plus the slashes 2. I may have gotten Partisan's number wrong there, but it's fine. It's whatever. In the end, she is adding up to a big swing, and that's what hunters are good at, putting numbers together. On the defending side of things, this is the only thing you do outside of your own turn. The opponent gets the chance to defend. Defense action cards are paid for with defense points. This is the only thing you actually do with defense points. One defense card may be played per defender and per attack. The HP of the defense card blocks that much incoming damage. Item cards will protect a hunter's HP pool. They must be destroyed before attacking the story character directly. Each item destroyed also deals 1 direct damage to its equipper. This screenshot is of one of Silver's items being destroyed and her losing an HP because of it. Finally, draw phase. You can discard anything you want, anything you don't think is going to be useful in the next turn, and you'll draw back up to your normal 5 cards. If your deck ever runs out of cards, you will shuffle your discard pile immediately to become your new deck. This happens off camera, essentially. You don't actually get to see it happen. You don't actually get to see your discard pile or your deck size in this game. It's kind of hidden information. After this phase, play passes to your opponent. And once these turns repeat enough, somebody's going to win the game. Once you defeat your opposing story character, congratulations. Your rank is determined by your damage dealt versus damage received and how long you took to finish the match. Higher rank will award more cards in your reward pack. Pack choice also matters. Blue pack has a higher chance for creature cards, red has a higher chance for items, green has a higher chance for actions, and black generally has a higher chance for assist cards, but you won't get many of those in the early levels of the game. And that's kind of it. That's my rundown of how to at least get through one match of episode 3. So rather than listening to Salagun's Hunter License tutorial, we are going to go straight into an online match between me and Kayak using the beginner decks. You still with me, Kayak?
I am. I just had myself.
Alright, no problem.
I'm going to create a new character right now so we can take care of that. One thing that I guess you could clarify in a team match, it's 24 experience to get a dice bonus, not 12.
True. My tutorial was only really talking about a 1v1, but there are a few differences for team play. In most situations, the dice bonus is going to require double, 24. I don't remember if it can be changed or not. I'm going to start the match.
I'll be right there.
The other changes for team is the dice bonus you get will apply to your entire team. And optional rules may make it so that you have a shared HP pool or you need to defeat both players. You can also defend for each other in a team battle in case that comes up. Zonik said I wasn't muted the whole time, which makes it even weirder that I was muted at all. I didn't change anything. I didn't press any buttons. Just happened. I've been having some like USB issues over here, so hopefully my controller makes it through the match.
I blame Windows 10.
Man, Windows has been fine with me up until I started trying to make this tutorial. Were you around for the first time I tried to fire it off and just like everything stopped working at the same time?
Yes.
I lost my mic, camera, and then was immediately raided by someone else's PSO stream. It's like, oh god, I'm sorry guys. There's nothing going on here anymore. There he is, the HughCast. Okay, so I'll play the Hunter. Actually, I don't want this map for a tutorial.
I think small would be better, probably.
Yeah, let's do Nebula 2. I just didn't want the rocks in the way. I'll do default Hunter if you do want to do default Dark. So me and Kayak are about to play the starting decks that you when you start a fresh save of the game. These are the two decks that you will have. You will have a small amount of cards extra compared to this, so you can make a Ranger and Force deck on the Hunter side. But that's really it. Everything else will be gained from packs opened after gameplay. So the nature of Hunters versus Arcs is the Hunter will need to approach. I need to run after Kayak to try and kill him. He can play creatures that can individually, separately from him, attempt to assault me and slow my progress. Which is not to say that his character is useless. His character is Break. He has 3 AP and 4 TP normally. He is a unit to be used on his own. And the low-cost spam starts early.
Oh yeah, man. I haven't played one of these like default decks in a long time. See what's in here? I don't even remember.
You have a bind in there, I'm pretty sure.
Spicy.
Like that's one of the cards I take out as immediately as I can. So a good idea for your turn is to plan out from the start what your attack points are going to be used for. So I know I want to attack, but I also want to move. So I'm going to put on this handgun. I'm going to set aside 2 points for movement and at least 1 point for attacking, meaning I only really have 2 more points left. I'm going to put on a mech gun. Move to the right and shoot to my left to attempt to kill this Lily. And I will pick the mech gun because it's my stronger item.
And there is no way we would block that because Minor Slayer is kicking in.
Yeah, especially not in the default decks. There's almost no defense cards in here.
Got to.
There might be like 5 total. So navigating the UI, on your opponent's turn, you're very limited as to what you can look at without using the Z button. The Z button brings up this fancy overlay and allows you to move between your hand, your field, your opponent's field, your opponent's character, and examine any card you would like. So if I need to review my hand to see what I drew, make a plan for next turn, I can be doing that already, even while Kayak is acting on his own. Looks like Kayak unfortunately only rolled a 2-1 this turn. Is it going to be enough? It's not going to be enough.
Unfortunately, I didn't roll a 6 there, so I couldn't paralyze your mech guns. Those
That
guns
would
are scary.
that would have been a good 6. So I've rolled a 4. Rather than... While I could equip more items this turn, making progress towards the arcs is usually what you want to do most often early on. So I'm going to approach and once again attack twice. I'll attack the claw there, and honestly I should have used that, but instead I'll just do 2 basic attacks. And these kills are gaining me the experience I need to have a dice bonus. After 1 more kill, I'll have 1, and permanently get +1 to my attack and defense dice. Just gonna press Z to review the cards that I drew. Kayak thankfully rolled a 6 this turn. Wow, no creatures to play with that 6? It's unfortunate. He is getting to foy my mech gun, which is not nothing. That deck starts with 2 Hildebears. That would have been a scary turn if you actually had them. And unfortunately for Kayak, now I have rolled quite well. Have to leave voice for now. That's understandable. So let's put on another piece of equipment so I'm at least guarded. For if he does summon anything around me this next turn, I'm going to approach. And I could attack twice, or I could assault and just straight add 3 damage to this attack. Yeah, end result's the same. If he happened to have 2 defense cards, I did stop him from using one of them by combining my attacks. Assault is a weird action card. It adds a number of attack points equal to 5 minus the number of cards on your field. And I had 2 cards equipped, so that is what he was adding. Still no creatures for Kayak. This might just be a very brief tutorial in this case. There's an assault of his own, and it's adding a full 5 damage because he has nothing on his field. What just happened there? For some reason, he did 1 extra damage. That was weird. that's an online glitch. Don't worry about that. We'll figure that out another time. For now though, we'll attack his health points directly. That was a well-timed dodge from Kayak. Because the dagger has double strike, that defense card applied to both hits and blocked 4 damage instead of 2. So I am, because he hasn't had any creatures, I am very well positioned to finish out this fight. My direct HP pool cannot be attacked until until all 3 of these items are destroyed. The way you would get through and around that would be Pierce or Rampage to attack multiple items, but those abilities are not present in the starter decks. Even though they are exceptionally good abilities. So my max movement is only 2. And his was 3, so he was able to move slightly out of my range. This turn, though, I will be equipping a sword, which has a slash range on it. So I am now going to be able to move 2 and attack 1 to hit diagonally and still connect with Kayak. Throw away 2 more cards. And this will likely be the end of it. Oh, he rolled a 6/6. Shouldn't be enough to save him, but he might go out with a bang somehow. Oh, he's protecting himself. He does have a room to run away still. Alright, his HP bar is going to be safe now. This is how the Arcs player is supposed to protect themselves. Keeping themselves just out of range of the Hunter. So the Hunter is forced to deal with his creatures instead. Notably, when creatures die, their controller does not lose HP, unlike items and hunters. As many creatures can die as the hunter wants, but you need to attack directly to finish off an Arcs player. Considering our positioning, I am just going to attack around me. Moving further away isn't really going to help anything on this tiny map. So just killing everything in front of me is my best bet. I should be doing 6. Yeah. There are sometimes attack visual glitches online as well. The math is almost always correct, though. Okay, so I definitely have a dice bonus now, so I am going to be rolling higher, while Kayak is still rolling the normal 1 through 6. Oh, here's another UI bit that I didn't go over. If you move the camera with the C-stick, you can see color tiles under characters on the field to show who controls them. In a 4-player game, this is especially handy to see who owns a particular creature if you're fighting against 2 arcs. Another thing I should bring up about arcs is they have a limit to where they can summon their better creatures. Because he is currently on my side of the board, I started on the row that he's currently standing on. He actually can't place creatures there. Uh, he can only place creatures based on cost, more toward his side of the board. Let me just deal with this again. Oh, he actually saved the Rappy. Didn't think he was going to. That was the correct choice on him, since I double attacked the Booma. And he could see that if he was paying very close attention to my character model, which way she was turning. But about the cost, that Rag Rappy is spawned as furthest forward as it could possibly spawn. It is a 1-cost creature, and it is spawned 1 space away from my starting location. The row that I am on is 2 spaces away from my starting location, so 2-cost creatures such as Savage Wolf can be summoned here. He does have a few higher cost creatures in the deck, up to a 4-cost, which would have to be summoned way back here. 4 costs like Hildebear. Lucky for me, I had both of my defense cards. So I have 2 more points that I can equip. And in this case, I'll make it a sword. And now I have 4 attacks going to 2 to each source. So I should guarantee the kill now. And hopefully he doesn't have another Rag Rappy to block me off on the top side. And I can move in for the kill next turn. Does he actually have 2 defense cards? No, he did not have a guard to finish that off. Alright, I'm very well equipped, so I don't need any of this. I actually have my full 8 points of equipment on. I can't fit any other equipment on my bar. Savage Wolf will try his best. And looks like Break might be doing a little Zonde as well. Well, that cannot be saved. He has his own dice bonus now. This also cannot be saved, but I'll throw it out. I might draw an attack card. Even though during the draw phase, you can discard anything you want and draw back up. After using defense cards, you will also draw back up to your full hand size right before your turn. Just like that. Okay. And now the game is likely mine. I'm going to put on this mech gun. Put on nothing else. And go to town. Oh, he's fighting to the very end. How's it going, Thunder Punching? Welcome. I was just finishing up my tutorial. I'll have to see if I can edit this later, but for now I'll just highlight the important bit. This is the card pack selection screen. I believe I have some AR codes on, so you might see some cards that you would not see at level 1 here. Yeah, that was a Rico box. And yeah, that was it. That is how to play Phantasy Star Online Episode 3 and its fantastic soundtrack. I would like to thank Kayak for joining me for the example game and pushing me into actually completing this tutorial video finally. I'm heading to the card lobby to jump on the jukebox. Rico Box is the single most rare creature card in the game. He's in there, man. Can I not use this? Oh, that's weird. Alright. We're here. Yeah, this game's soundtrack is dope. So, for anyone that was consistently watching through all that, what'd you guys think? Did I do a well enough job explaining how this game functions? Do you still have questions? Now would be a fantastic time for questions. A lot of people get tripped up on linker colors. We were talking about linker colors a little bit before the presentation, but yeah, it was good, better than what's out there. Yeah, I mean, at the bare minimum, that was what I was hoping for. I wish I knew someone good at video editing to cut out all the drab bits where I'm just sitting there going, How hard is it to get onto episode 3 online these days? I went on years ago and played 1, 2, and 4, but managing to play episode 3 seems intimidating at the time. So, I was not one of the lucky few that got to play on the official Sega servers, but now our private server community is very small and very welcoming. Kayak next to me and myself are two of the largest advocates for this game. We are playing online on Stack's server, the only currently functioning private server for episode 3. It has its glitches. You may have seen a few inconsistencies in our little preview battle. Even an incorrect damage calculation once. When I used a guard against his assault, it actually did 1 extra damage. So that's something else I'm going to need to look into. But really, it's easy to get into. You can connect with a GameCube. You can connect with a Wii. You can connect with a Wii U. You can connect through Dolphin. I'm actually running on Dolphin right now for this tutorial. There are a lot of options. The Discord I have linked below my stream, the Hunters Guild. That is the community space we have for episode 3. We have a channel in there. The Hunters Guild itself is a GameCube focused Discord server, so there's a lot going on for episode 1 and 2 PSO. Episode 3 has a section in there, and that's pretty much where we gather. A lot of times people will ask in there if they want to get a game going online. Because there's no way you're going to be able to find randoms online. You're pretty much going to have to ask and see if you can set it up and meet someone online. The community isn't large enough for that people just to be online at any given time. I used to play with friends for hours offline on GameCube when I was in high school. Yeah, I as well. I tried to spread the love of that game offline in my little community. I couldn't even get enough people to appreciate normal PSO, to appreciate a weird card game spinoff. But this game really still holds up to today. It has a lot of interesting decisions in it that you don't get in many other games because of how the Hunters and Arcs dynamic work. I like the what word am I looking for? The not asynchronous. A something. I love that the different sides do different things. Is what I'm trying to say. Playing creatures is a completely different game plan from asymmetrical. That is indeed what I was looking for. Couldn't think of it. Thank you, Thunder Punching. Yeah, I love the asymmetrical gameplay of Episode 3. Hunters normally being aggressors and being forced to get in against Arcs is just a fun dynamic. It's like a mini boss battle. And then you have super simple matches where it's Hunter v Hunter, or very complicated matches of Arcs v Arcs where you don't know where the main fight's going to be going on. And then you get to 2v2s, and it can get even weirder. Maybe like 3 Arcs and 1 Hunter in a battle. The 1 Hunter is more than likely going to be commanding a lot of the attention for the field. But creatures could just be sneaking by to attack the Arcs on the other side, too. It's super different. How unique this game is why I'm still playing it to this day. What, like 17 something years later? Realmatos was my jam because I was always good at the rhythm. Yeah, Realmatos is really fun. It can suck to be off rhythm if you need to do one thing, but you can only do the other. But a lot of times you can work around it. And yeah, fighting against 2 Arcs is just asking for a cramped field. And you don't normally get board wipes until later on in character levels as well. Yeah, you should definitely look into joining us. The Discord that we were talking about does talk about how you can get connected in any of those particular methods. Dolphin is actually really easy to get connected with, but a few people have had issues that I wasn't able to help them through uh, as far as connecting to the server. Uh, if you were watching when I had to connect online here, I actually held the frame advance key at a certain point. That helps the emulator receive a large packet from the server without issue. But yeah, I think this went well. I wish I had an editor. I wish I knew someone who edited videos well, so I didn't have to like go download some free program later and try hacking it myself. As mentioned, I am extremely tired today, so I'm probably not going to do too much else. Honestly, I want to go play a little bit of Monster Hunter. I finally got my PC save up and running a little bit to a good spot. Oh, I like that. Like that link. It pops up the Discord invite, even just hovering over it in chat. You got to go, Kayak? Well, thank you for joining me. It was nice to show off in a match some of the things I was talking about prior. I'm sure it'll make excellent footage for the video. Thank you again for your help, and thank you guys for tuning in and watching me go over this. Next week, I'm sure I'll have something else cool to show off. I'll actually be playing something. I need to speedrun again. I've had the itch, but I haven't dedicated the time to speedrunning. I probably want to do some like Dark Side. You said AP and TP silence still needs to get coded. I think I can do that this weekend. I should have time tomorrow to write that for you, so we can get that working online. That's exciting. Yeah, I'll put that in my to-do list. But yeah, it's been great, guys. Yeah, it shouldn't be hard. Nice to meet you, Thunder Punching. And thanks for the follow the other day while I was offline. I do appreciate it. Later, guys.